Hello, Junes and Juniors. It's time. It feels like a million years since I did one of these. It wasn't. It was the same amount of time as always. It's not even that far into July, so I'm not far behind, even though it just feels like so long ago since June happened. There's been so much going on. I am so busy. It is so hot. I have a microphone. I hope it works. As promised, I tried to do Fantasy Month for June. I got really confused when I was going through my Goodreads to write down all the books I read to make a note for the video. I hadn't logged not one but two of them. I worked it out, thank goodness, because I was sat there thinking I'm sure I read more than 4 books in June. So there we go. I attempted to read fantasy books in June, and mostly I just didn't read horror books. And even then, the fantasy books I read were, fantasy horror or spooky or dark. It's, you know what? Why don't we just get into it? Fantasy Month. Okay. So my notes are now out of order because I wrote down all the ones that were on Goodreads before I realised that they weren't all there, so I'm going to do my best here. Please let me know what you think of the microphone audio, or don't. I don't mind. But I tell you what, I was really pleased to get back to real gory horror in July. It's been an exciting restart to the month with more spooky stories. I love a spooky story. Okay, so in June. Yunior. Is that right? The first book I read, surprising no one, I read A Small Matter of Impending Catastrophe by Landy. This is the most recent Skullduggery Pleasant book. I made a face just then because I don't actually know if it's still the most recent. He does seem to just throw these out all the time. It's the next one I haven't read. I think it's new, but it has been on my shelf for a while. Ooh, I'm all... Hello. Anyway, I read it. I will always read Landy. No questions asked. What I will say is these books follow a formula. Landy knows which dynamics in his books work, and he knows the structure of a Skullduggery Pleasant book, and he just goes for it, and it's always sort of the same. And that's fine, because I like it. But if you're reading an 18-book series expecting it to be changing the game on book 18, that's on you. If the game hasn't been changed in the first 17 books, I think you know what you're getting yourself into. And I did, and I enjoyed it. Obviously, because I always do. It's a comfort read for me. There's not that much I need to say about it. It's just another Skullduggery Pleasant book. Valkyrie and Skullduggery getting up to some mischief, solving mysteries. This is like a one-off mystery, but I feel like at the same time you can't read it as a standalone. There's too much context. But I don't think you would anyway. Again, you don't pick up a series at book 18 and just say, let's see what this is all about. Did I say 4 out of 5? I rated it 4 out of 5. Because once again, we've been here, we've done this before. It's not going to be a 5. Florals for spring, groundbreaking. Exactly. So if you like Skullduggery Pleasant, keep reading it. I don't know what else to tell you. You don't need my help with this. This is a really easy one. That's that. The next book. Am I leaving enough space for books on the camera? I add the books later, and with a new microphone, I need to be a bit more careful about how I'm positioning myself, because I've got the microphone more in the middle. So I can bring it over here a little bit. Let my camera work this out. Come on. There you go. The other reason I've gone hard on fantasy is because I've mentioned, I'm replaying Baldur's Gate 3 again. I'm playing my first ever honor mode run on Baldur's Gate with my half-orc Tala. I'm in Act 3. I actually only have the big quests to go. It's getting a little scary. So I'm honouring that in a way. The next book isn't even fantasy though. This was at work. Someone gave me this book. Obviously, I'm not going to interrupt. No, that doesn't make sense. Obviously, I am going to interrupt my self-proclaimed fantasy month to read a book if someone gives it to me. Let's call it magical realism, although it's not even that really, it's just realism. And that is, I'll tell you what it is. It's The House at the End of the World by Julia Rochester. Rochester as in Mr. Rochester from Jane Eyre. I don't think it's because of that, I think that's just her name. I enjoyed this. I couldn't really tell you what it was about. No, that's not true. I can. It's there is two twins, as there usually are. And when they are teenagers, their dad goes missing. It's assumed he committed suicide, but there's not really a lot of questions about it until later. So the book takes place when their grandfather reaches the point of near death, so they all reconvene at their house and they explore the backstory of what happened to their dad and unravel the secrets of the family surrounding that. It's different to what I normally read, but it was a good, quite heartfelt story. I will say it's not super heavy on plot. It's more vibes, energy, and a cozy read with a bit of mystery and a bit of weirdness to it. I do appreciate a book with a bit of weirdness to it. Can I tell you, going on a tangent, this is one of the key things I think makes a story good or a book good, is it needs to be a bit weird in a particular way. Something quirky needs to be going on at least half the time in a way that is unexpected but makes sense within the narrative structure. Do you know what I mean? It's gotta be enough that it feels natural within the world you've created. It's not just something you've plonked down and people question it and then it doesn't amount to anything. But it can't just be, because life's not just normal, predictable things 100% of the time anyway. Books need to have a little element of weird. And yes, it does have to be relevant and it does have to be natural, but it has to be different at the same time. Like, I once read a book, I'm not going to tell you which one. Blurry time. Hello. I'm not going to tell you which book because I didn't like it. And I can't remember the name. More importantly. It was a fantasy book. It was about some teenager who's the chosen one. Something to do with dragons. Anyway, it was all very cliche. And the one thing that I remember liking about it is, I was like, oh my goodness, there's a member of their team is just a mannequin that they've given an identity to. This is in a sort of, if anyone knows the Umbrella Academy, in a similar way to that, 5 in the Umbrella Academy has a romantic interest who is a mannequin that he has personified. It's similar to that in this book that I read that I didn't like, and it was the first weird thing that had happened in the whole book. I don't remember it very well. I think in the end I'd misread it, and that wasn't true. I just assumed that from a part of the text, that, and then actually it wasn't a mannequin that was being personified, it was just a person. Sometimes I read a bit too fast. I get a bit confused. So that's the sort of thing, I mean, that was the first thing about the book that made me perk up and go, oh, what's all this then? It is way too hot to have done fairy makeup. I didn't do that much. I just did the amount that would look funny on camera. You can see it's not that much, and it's actually a mess. But if I sit here, when the camera focuses, it looks okay. Or the camera doesn't like me enough for it to look okay. I've been denied, rejected. Anyway. So, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah! The house at the end of the world does have this flavour of weird that perfectly sits within the world but keeps you interested. So even though it doesn't have all that much plot or drama, or definitely not fantasy, it has the weird, it has the intrigue, and it does all tie back together really nicely. The end fell a little flat, as these things often do, but it's one of those books that's very much not about the end, it's about the journey, it's about the characters. If you enjoy a more realism-esque book with really intriguing layers to the character relationships, but still quite a short book, that's a good one. I think often we don't get that deep with character relationships in most short books, because you don't have space. I think in fantasy it's something you can really dig into, because fantasy, you can do an epic fantasy, keep going and make it long. Not that I read many of those anymore, but I certainly have, and I think everyone who has read those books knows what I'm talking about. Also when I've written a series of books, it's more, you get really in depth with it, and interactions mean more, they have more value when you have all those blocks behind you. I'm just rambling and it doesn't make a lot of sense, but the point is, it's quite hard to imply that all those blocks of a relationship exist when you've not shown them. But sometimes you can do it successfully, and this book does that. So, 4 out of 5 again. Different, but I quite enjoyed it. It's really hot, so I've got a cold coffee today. Homemade, in this massive cup that I'm dropping. Left a little lip stain on the cup. I was trying really hard not to. If you can see the angle that I was approaching that. Okay. So after this, I thought, okay, I really do need to read some real fantasy. It's fantasy month. There's something wrong with me. So I read... I can't remember what order I did this in, because the next 2 books are the ones that I forgot to put on Goodreads and I added just now. So I'm just going to put them in the order that I remembered them. And that is Snake Eater by T. Kingfisher. This could be described as cozy horror. I have certainly seen it on horror bookshelves at Forbidden Planet. I saw it most recently on a horror bookshelf. It's not horror, so I disagree with that, firstly. But it is not a big winding fantasy either. It's fair enough to say it's somewhere in between, and it's a bit more grounded than either of those two genres would traditionally accept. Not accept, that makes it sound like they're haters. The genres are not inclusive and they turn you away. I don't mean that. I mean, my brain is addled with mush because it's been so hot, which is why I didn't think I should do this video today, because my brain is addled with mush from the heat, but it is what it is. You're gonna have to sit here and listen to me spout nonsense for a bit longer, because I haven't got real sentences left in my head anymore. Anyway, Snake Eater. It was interesting. I'm gonna say something I very rarely say, but I have said it before. But it is rare. I think they should have gone a bit harder on the romance side. I'm sorry. That's not me. That's not me talking. That's a tiny voice inside my head that doesn't belong to me. But it's true. The tiny voice in my head can be right sometimes. So Snake Eater is about a young woman who moves to a really rural desert town in America when her great aunt dies. She sort of inherits a house. It's not done in the cliche way of, hey, your great aunt died and you've inherited a house, even though that's exactly what I just said. It's a bit more complicated than that, but in a way that works. It's complicated in a way that's simple. Don't worry about that. This isn't even important. What's important is that she gets there and a roadrunner creature takes an interest in her and then tries to become her romantic partner, but he's like a bit evil. I don't know if he knows he's a bit evil. There's a lot of love bombing because the roadrunner was previously in a romantic relationship with the main character's aunt, her great aunt. No, not even great aunt, it was her normal aunt who passed away. Sorry, that would be a large generational difference for the Roadrunner's romantic pursuit. But yeah, he treats her like a Roadrunner. So like he leaves snakes outside her door and she throws them away, and he perceives that as her accepting his gifts. Anyway, she has to team up with a wild and wacky local crew to sort this problem out, essentially. I think they should have developed this. Sorry, the voice is getting out, that's why I made that face. They should have developed her scenes with the Roadrunner pre-separation better. Not better, just more. There should have been more of them. So she has dreams about the Roadrunner where they're together, before she realizes that they're not dreams, they're sort of real. But it only happens once or twice. Certainly only once when you understand it. And it was interesting. That was the part of the book that I found the most interesting. It's because it's a really weird dynamic to be in a romantic relationship with a Roadrunner. So I kind of wanted to see more of how that worked. In a freaky way. Because you've given me a really great opportunity for something weird and freaky to happen. It doesn't. It starts to happen and then they fix it, which is great for her in a real life scenario. But reading the book, I wanted a bit more wild and freaky. So I rated that 3 out of 5 because it just slightly falls short of all my expectations. It wasn't terrible by any means, it just, I feel it could have done more with everything that the setup promised. But it's fine, it's easy to read if you want something a bit more cozy and a bit weird still. Yeah, why not? Okay, I also read, I say also not next because, like I say, I forget which order this all happened in. Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. So she's the author of the whatchamacallit series Shadow and Bone, which I really enjoyed. Well, I really enjoyed the Six of Crows duology. The main series of Shadow and Bone was okay. So I was expecting her to do something quite interesting because of her track record of interesting stories and fantasy stories. However, this was much less fantasy, once again, than her previous works that I've read. It's dark academia. And I don't know why, but I didn't know that. And me and dark academia have a complicated relationship. I think dark academia, and people are going to come for me when I say this, I think dark academia is pretentious. And I'm sorry to the dark academia fans. It's fine, it's fine. And there are staples of the dark academia genre. And the first few books, I mean, look, we won't go into all that. You already know if you like dark academia or not. I don't need to justify my feelings to you. But I still enjoyed the book, but it took me a lot longer to get into because I had to overcome the dark academia of it all. And it was pretentious to begin with, but that didn't last. The story did get interesting, and it did make me want to read the sequel, so that's fine. The story is... I was going to just leave it at Dark Academia because I felt like that covered it, but no, I will tell you more. Lucky you. It's a girl attends university. It's one of the posh American ones. I don't remember. Yale? Maybe? Whatever. Right? And she only got in because one of the societies took an interest in her because of her ability to see ghosts. Which are called greys in the book. And she gets involved with these sort of magic societies where they all have different magical areas of expertise, and it's all dark occult stuff, and then there's a big mystery about some guy who killed his wife in the 20s that ties in a bit, but that ultimately does not end up being that important. Well, it does, but you don't, not really. My inspiring confidence in you all in my own storytelling abilities. I'm sure I do. Every time I try and describe a plotline, I'm sure you think, wow. I won't elaborate upon that. I was trying to make my ears wiggle. Sorry. I feel like I can twitch my ears, but I don't know how to do it. I can just... if I just smile, it changes where my ears are sitting on my head. Sorry, you guys. I'm exhausted. Right, okay, so I put Ninth House at 3 out of 5, but it's more like a 3.5. It's fine. If you like Dark Academia, you should probably really like it. I just don't. I feel like I've done enough dark academia. And also, I don't know. Reading about university students is just something else, isn't it? As someone who is, shall we say, not a university student anymore. They're just babies. They're just babies, you guys. I can't take them seriously. They're like 19. And they're acting so serious because they're academics. And they're very clever. What's up with that? It's fine. It's okay. It's fine. I'm just gonna move on from that because I'm just being too silly with it today. I'm being too silly with it, and my notes are not of any real value. They're just not, and my brain is not either. So we're working with very little. Working with very little this month. This is what 3 weeks of being too hot does to me. It's not good. Okay. Oh, okay. This is real fantasy, and it's also locally relevant. I read Mort by Terry Pratchett. I've read a few Terry Pratchetts. I used to listen to them on audiobook back in the days where I had an MP3 player, like on school trips. Everybody loves Terry Pratchett. And this is the interesting fun fact. The area I live in is the area Terry Pratchett was, well, where he grew up, essentially. He got married nearby, he had his first job in the town here, without, doxing myself, because I am putting this on the internet. But I think that's general enough information. Amazingly, there's almost zero celebration of this locally. There's no Terry Pratchett collection, no, I've never seen a blue plaque, but then again I'd have no idea where he lived specifically, and I don't think it was right here. No museum. It's not celebrated halfway near as much as you'd think. I don't know if I'm just approaching this from a really biased perspective, but isn't he like a superstar of the literary world? On such a level as people who are not within the literary world still know of him? Surely. Anyway, that's just an interesting fun fact. I'll start a Terry Pratchett museum. I won't. Just wait. 5 out of 5 for Mort. It's just a classic. It's about a slightly incompetent young lad who becomes apprentice to Death himself. It's set in Terry Pratchett's Discworld. It is beautiful, it is funny, it's quick and easy read. It's in Terry Pratchett's classic comedy style. Has some really incredible quotes. Great structure. The thing with Terry Pratchett is I always feel like I can't ever read loads of them all at once because his style is so distinctive and so witty that it's almost like I need to take a breather and read something set up in a much more normal way before I go back. But this has got to be one of my favourite Terry Pratchetts, even because it's not over complex. I think with anything in the Discworld, I think it's such a sprawling fantasy world that it can be easy to get a bit caught up in it and a bit confused by it. Most of the time it works just fine because Terry Pratchett was a master of the craft. However, it does definitely work better in some scenarios than others. This one's a very comfortable standalone. You know, it works. And it's sweet. And I really want to read it again, which is really rare for me to want to reread books. I'm normally a one and done person. There you go. I don't know where that went even. Okay, that was Mort. Then, last book of the month. I couldn't resist going back to Derek Landy. I'm obsessed with this man. I don't know how to... I read, for the first time, Demon Road. This is his trilogy of books that are not Skullduggery Pleasant. And I've never read them for reasons unknown to me. I think, firstly, because there are so many Skullduggery Pleasant books that I can barely keep up with those. Secondly, because I think there was a part of me that I had this fear in the back of my head that what if they're not good? What if Derek Landy can only write Skullduggery Pleasant? And that's why there's 100 million of them. And not anything else. I was pleasantly surprised. Demon Road is a story about a teenage girl who discovers her parents are demons and she is inherently also a demon. However, on the verge of her discovering this, her parents have made a pact that in order to keep their demon powers, every time they have a child who turns 16, just before they discover their demon powers, the parents have to kill them and eat their blood. Right? So she discovers this has been happening for like a century already. So her parents are way older than she thought. She's had multiple siblings who've been killed and eaten, and she's just the latest in a long line of purpose-built sacrifices so her parents can keep their demon powers. So she discovers this, she manages to escape and go on the run and make her own deal to bring the Shining Man, the man who made her parents' deal. She agrees to bring him someone who's escaped from his notice in return for a way out of her rough situation. And it's great. So it does have an air of Skullduggery Pleasant. There's a funky car, there's a slightly sardonic older male character driving her around. She's a sassy teenage girl. There are definite items within the structure that feel the same as Skullduggery Pleasant. But I think it still works. I think it's obvious, not throughout the whole book, but at moments where you think this exchange could have come right out of a conversation with Valkyrie and Skullduggery. You know? But it's not as often as I was worried it would be. And I actually really enjoyed the way the whole plotline is structured. So it's essentially a series of vignettes. That is to say, she will encounter one monster or situation, overcome it, get back on the road, there's another situation, overcome it, back on the road, another situation. So she's meeting all these different kind of monsters. So she meets a serial killer, she meets vampires, that sort of thing. And I like how it just seems to keep the plot moving, and it's a bit different, but it works. I really wonder if he keeps that up for the second and third book, because this was commissioned as a trilogy commissioned. Is that the right word? It was published as a trilogy. Like the contract he had was for a trilogy. There was never any doubt that there would be sequels to this book. So I wonder if he was always going to structure all 3 of them like this. If it's just this one, I don't know. I hope it stays a similar format and fashion, because I did think it was really fun. And I think it was that vignette structure that actually most separated it from Skullduggery Pleasant to me. I think if he loses that, it would possibly get a bit too similar? Unsure. But I will have to read it and find out. That's that. So that would be a 4 out of 5. Again. A lot of 4s in my life. Right. Business. Fantasy themed previously read book recommendation. There is a book series which is an epic fantasy, and I almost never see it referenced anywhere. This is coming from my days of being an epic fantasy reader, so, you know, I'm talking like books this thick, and several of them. I don't know if I could do that now. I actually don't know if I ever read the last one because it got so much. And I tell you, I've just completely forgotten the name of the book. I'm gonna find the name of the book and the author on Google, and then I'm gonna put it on the screen. This is, in many ways, just a classic fantasy. You will notice it takes elements from other classic fantasies, but I still think this is really original. It's been a very long time since I read it, so I'm not even capable of recounting the plot to you, but I really enjoyed it. It's got those deep relationships, it's got deep lore and storytelling, and I just never ever hear about it. I don't know why that is. I hope I don't Google it now and find out there's some massive controversy. But, you know, I'm sure it's fine. If it isn't, I will put a big notice up in this section of the video, but I'm sure it's fine. It's a quick recommendation because, like I say, I can't remember everything about it. It's too large and too long ago for me to remember the details. But I remember how it made me feel, and it made me feel really wrapped up in a fantasy world in a way I hadn't for a long time, and genuinely I haven't since. It is a commitment though. They're huge. These books, they're massive. It's one of those books that has a pronunciation page at the front, so if you like that sort of thing, I wouldn't be surprised if you hadn't heard of this book. But go for it. Give it a read. Give the whole series a read. And that's that. I will rank my books, even though I don't have that much to say as a sort of in conclusion area. I think the worst one I read, there were no really horrible books this month. There was nothing totally rubbish. Everything was fine. It was, you know, I was really happy to get back to the horror, but everything was fine in fantasy month. Worst book has to be Snake Eater. As I said, it just didn't quite hit the mark for me for my expectations. But again, it's not bad, and that's why I'm clarifying this. I think there are certainly circumstances where it would rank higher. One up from that, Ninth House. Again, due to my complex feelings towards dark academia, bring this one down. It's not the book or the writing. It's the genre, the tone, the university setting. Yeah. After that, The House at the End of the World by Julia Rochester. Completely out of place within this little group of books. But it's a nice one. Palette cleanser. Call it that. Next up, A Small Matter of Impending Catastrophe. I've read so many Skullduggery Pleasant books that unfortunately it's very hard to, I can't rank them low because I love them. And I think at some point I said that Skullduggery Pleasant was always going to be a 5 out of 5 for me. And this is a 4, but it's just because it was very, I don't want to say predictable, but it was very much the same as every Skullduggery Pleasant book. I don't know if I should keep rating them a 5. Why did I say that? Did I read a different Derek Landy book? Don't tell me I read this one last month and already reviewed it, because that would be crazy. I'm literally losing my marbles. Maybe I did? No, I didn't. I don't know why I was saying that. I'm sure I didn't. Anyway, let's move on. Then, second place, it's Demon Road, also by Derek Landy. It was nice to have a slightly refreshing take on his voice. That was fun. And in the top place, who else? Terry Pratchett with Mort. Beautiful, beautiful story. Very funny, very, very Pratchett. You just can't go wrong. I wish I had met Terry Pratchett. I think I just wish I'd felt his aura. Do you know what I mean? There's so much legend around him. He's the icon, Terry Pratchett, and I think he's gone too soon from this world. But at least he was prolific. It'll certainly take me a bit longer to get through all his other Discworld stories, so maybe we'll be seeing more of them in the future. But not yet, because I have so much horror to read, and I'm gonna read stuff that's gory, and I'm gonna read some slashers, and it's gonna be so good. I've missed it. I've already read. I finished one book. Yeah, I think I only finished one book so far, but I've read half of 2 other books already, so we're really putting the paces in. That's not the phrase. We're paying the no. I'm reading. I'm reading. Anyway, I'm gonna take away my absolutely frazzled brain and do something else that's not to edit this video, so it will be a little bit long before this is out. I will make sure it is done before. I'm going to check my calendar. This is going to be absolutely irrelevant to you because you won't see it till I post it anyway. But within the next 2 weeks, I will make time to edit this and post it. I think it will help having the microphone. I can put my face in the shadow. No, that's not even funny. That's just me going insane. Anyway, that was Fantasy Month, sort of. I hope it cools down. I hope I am absolutely 10,000 times more sensible soon. I hope everybody is hydrated and alive. Stay spooky. Bishy news.